This is Parsley, and this is Parsley's roadmap to success. I was calling her Paisley in the video above, so please excuse me. She is very fearful of men that she doesn't know, and so this is actually a really big progress for her to be sitting on the couch, laying down on the couch. In order for a dog, if they're sitting or lying down, that puts them at a bit of a disadvantage. So they sit or lay down near someone or something, that's a good indication they feel comfortable about it. And you can take your finger a little further away. This is probably going to be about 10 minutes. Just don't want you to have to get a cramp. So basically, because she's fearful, we've talked a lot about the things that people do commonly that actually backfire. Like petting a fearful dog will make the dog more fearful. Most people don't know this. Or good attention and bad attention, pretty much the same thing for the dog. So now, a quick note: I don't think we went over this, but if a dog growls or bares its teeth, it's not aggression, and it should not ever be punished or corrected, because that's the dog communicating. And if you punish or correct the dog will often learn, okay, I won't warn anymore. I'll just go straight to a bite. So it's healthy. We want the dog to do it. Now, what I'm doing here is kind of one of my videos that Guardian had found online that I do with another dog. What I'm trying to do is get her is promote a situation where she can approach me and something good happens. So she doesn't really like meat treats. She likes the cheese. So I didn't say it's for you. I didn't offer and entice, and she moved a little bit further away. That's okay. But what I want her to do is practice approaching me, something good happens and moving away. And what am I doing? It's mostly what I'm not doing. I'm not trying to pet her. I'm not trying to say, come and get it. I'm just letting her do this all on her own. Remember, when it comes to cheese, this is actually got a little bit nice aroma to it, but Swiss cheese is going to have the best aroma. So go to a grocery store, ask them to slice you a piece, maybe a quarter, half-inch thick, and just cube it up with a butcher knife, and that way you have a lot of great little training treats. So let's talk about what I just got done talking about off camera, so you guys have this. So when we have somebody come over, you have the Guardian here has a friend who's a very tall male. And what I want her to do is practice being around men. She needs exposure around those things that she's fearful of. Now, if I were to get up, she would growl and she might nip at me. So I use a lot of counter conditioning. Now, if you're watching this, a lot of people write me and they email me, you're doing it wrong. I do it this way intentionally. So basically what I do is, I'm not going to demonstrate here because I don't want her to get up and I just want to keep this really concise. But if I like, standing up is a commanding position for the human. So she growls or barks, she's saying, I disagree with you standing up. I didn't give you permission to do that, because she thinks she's in charge of the world. We'll talk more about why in a second. So if a gentleman would like to stand up, we'd like him to have this cheese and a bunch of cheese and give him like a treat pouch or a bag like this so he's got it. So he would proceed giving it to her, then he would slowly stand up. Not super slow, but not normal, just slow motion. And if you proceed her with a big enough piece of cheese, she's gonna be chewing it while he gets up. Then if he wants to take a step to go to the bathroom, give another piece of cheese and then walk away. Now for the counter conditioning part, what I would do is I would have him give a piece of cheese and then slowly stand up. When she gets done chewing it, give her another piece of cheese and then sit down. So what we're doing is just saying we're preceding the movement with a reward. So we do that about 3 or 4 times. I have more. Okay, you're gonna stay there. We just wanna keep you in the shot. I'm not good looking enough to be in the shot by myself. All right, so basically what we would do then is after you do that like 3 or 5 times, then I would stand up slowly and then give the piece of cheese after. If she won't take it from him directly, but you would probably, or you or some other, a female probably would be the one here to give him a treat. So now what we're doing is we're saying when the person stands, that means you're about to get a treat. But what I'm not doing is I'm not going standing up and walking away. That's a whole bunch of steps. And then I'll tell you the secret to what I do as a dog behaviorist is when I have a dog that doesn't like to do something, I create a situation where it's the easiest version of that activity. Then I break the activity down into sole individual steps. The first step of me going to the bathroom is me standing up. So I practice that step over and over and over again until I can stand up and the dog doesn't growl at all. Only then, and then I would maybe give the dog a treat and take a step. And then a treat and take a step. Do that 3 times, or maybe you're treating, and then the person takes a step, and then she gets the treat. Now, I'd also like the person to follow the video above. So when you meet the person for the first time, have them meet you outside. They text you when you get here. Go down, put her on a leash. She's all happy to go outside. You're gonna walk with them maybe 5 or 6 paces. Human, dog, human. We're all on the line. So she's in the middle of the human sandwich. And then basically walk about 10 or 15 paces and hand him the leash and have him start walking. Now she is gonna just turtle up and shut down. we don't want to drag her, obviously, for indefinite periods of time, but if she shuts down and we stop, then that tells her you can actually stop the walk by just shutting down. So he's going to pull. Now, don't do it quickly. Come. So walk and just kind of go at a leisurely pace. And what I usually do is hold the leash put one of my hands behind my back and hold it with both hands. Make sure she can't escape. And then basically, I just keep going. And by the time we got to the street, when we were in the street, she walked across the street. She tried a little bit across the street for about 10 paces, and I just wouldn't stop. And then finally she got up and started coming. And as soon as she gets up and starts coming, make sure you immediately take the tension off the leash and move the leash a little bit towards her. Now that first couple times caused her to turtle up again, and then I kind of pulled a little bit. But I only had to stop, pull about 3 to 5 times, and then she just walked. I walked all the way to the end of the block. I sat down. There's a stoop right across to the stool, and there's a little ledge. I sat down on it, and I didn't even ask her. She just jumped in my lap. So and there were some other people around, and I think, well, I don't know who these boogeymen are. I know who this boogie person is. And when you're out doing all these things, don't talk to her and say, oh, what a sweet dog. You're a good girl. It's going to be okay. Don't say a word to her. Don't look at her in the eye. You're just leading her. What you don't do is going to say more than what you do. Your actions are going to speak for you. So what we're telling her is when you go to a stranger, he's not going to touch you because you're saying, I don't want to be touched. Matter of fact, if anybody reaches for your dog and the dog turns his head to the side, you should have that person pull their hand away. And that'd be a great person for great idea for that person to practice. If your beau can come over and help, anybody else. So I would just, and people at daycare. People at daycare are very friendly. The people picking up their other dogs, if they're waiting and you're in line ahead of time. So what do you hear? Oh, I'm picking up my dog for separation anxiety. Actually, do you like dogs? Yeah, I love dogs. Can you help me out? Can you just reach to pet her? And if she turns her head to the side, immediately pull your hand back. So after a while she learns, because what she's learned probably is snapping and snarling at people makes them back up. Well, for most dogs, they will turn their head to the side as to saying, I don't want you to pet me. We pet them anyways. And eventually the dog has a bad day, it snaps at people, and then they back up, they're like, eureka, that's how I get them to move away. Well, we don't need that negative. All we have to do is just have arranged situations where they reach for her, and they stop about 6 inches in front of her nose, and if she goes towards them, then they can reach over and try to pet, under the chin preferably, there we go. And if she turns her head to the side, we pull back. So the more that happens, the more that she sees I'm empowered. I can tell the person no, and they listen to me. I don't have to act snarly. I can just say no. All right, so we talked a little bit about exercise. The guardian here is doing a good job of exercising. She probably could use a little bit more exercise, not a ton. She's not a super high energy dog. Remember, you can Google scent games. You can use a laser if she chases it. Now, if she chases it and starts breathing heavy like a perverted collar, it's not healthy for her. It should be, if she wants to chase it, normally that's okay. But if she starts breathing heavy or wider, that's not healthy. We don't want to do that. Get a snuffle mat. Feed her meals out of a snuffle mat. Okay. So she said, I want a little bit more distance, but she didn't vacate the couch. That's also progress. Going back to him, actually, before I get into the rest of the stuff we summarized. So once the person gets back from the walk, he should keep her on the leash and come and sit over here. And then basically, if she's trying to pull away, he would maybe step on the leash about this far away, just to block her from going away. But again, we're not trying to pet her or talk to her or anything. When she's nice and relaxed, I'd like him to just reach down and put a piece of cheese on his shoe like that. Now, if she won't come all the way, just put the cheese on the floor. All we want her to do is to approach the person and have good things happen. So you can do it on the couch. If she's not allowed on the couch, then, which is one of the rules we're going to talk about, then it would just be on the floor. So we'll just do a version of it there. So if she won't come with a reasonable period of time, which is like a minute or two, then I do another treat halfway distance between the cheese and the dog. So she sees that other one there, but that's not enough of a lure for her to come and get it. So it's okay. All we're really looking for her to do at this point is approach, something good happens and walks away, and nobody tries to touch me, pet me, and then nothing bad happens. Remember, no more surprises, no snatching of her, because that breaks the trust. And after she does that enough and the person doesn't reach for her, she'll start feeling more comfortable to sit closer and closer to them. And so just give them like a series of that, and eventually you might do it like that, and then I might do it like this. So I'm going to make it harder. Getting it actually on the foot is pretty hard. This is a little bit of a jackpot. So I put 3 pieces. Well, I'm already here. I got this one. I'll get this next one. I'll get this next one. And you see how she's lingering? That's kind of what we're looking for. And so the whole visit, the person might come over and not look at her once and not pet her once. And that's okay. The next visit, she's going to be a little bit more comfortable. Some people, it might take 10 visits. Some people, it might be 1 visit. But the more of these visits that happen, make sure she got it all, the more confident she's going to be. Just like for me, the first time I asked a girl out, it was very unnerving for me. I'm still bad at it, but I have more experience. I'm not as nervous about it as I was before. Same sort of principle for the dog. So, all right, so getting back to the stuff we went over, exercise, remember using the nose is very stimulating. So Google scent games, use a snuffle mat. If she likes to play fetch, throw the ball around with her. And you might also get the Vram pet robot. If she likes to chase that thing around, that'd be awesome. Daycare is wonderful because it burns a lot of energy for her. Even if she's not actively doing anything, she's awake. She's not probably going to sleep there. So when she comes home from daycare, she's probably tired and just racks out. She can actually relax. Okay, we also went over the importance of rules as well as how dogs learn. Remember, rewarding a dog by breaking a rule is a poor way to reward them. It's confusing. Also, saying the word out of context is confusing. If she jumps up when we pet her and say calm down, or don't jump means jump. If she's excited, we pet her and say calm down, we're saying calm down means get excited. When she is nice and relaxed, what you can do is pet her and say settle, or zen, chill, Buddha, whatever the word is you want to use. So you're putting it in context. Being relaxed and settle are the same thing. That way when she's crazy, you say relax, at least she knows what you mean. She doesn't necessarily gonna listen to you, but at least she understands what you mean. Okay, so let me see. We also, so we talked about rules. Some of the rules, not being allowed in the furniture for at least 90 days or as long as the problem's going on. And then after that, a reward should not be given on the furniture. This should just be, I would like to cuddle, so I'm inviting you up here, but not because you're asking for it, just because I want to give it to you. She should eat after the human eats. So eat something in 5 bites first, then give her permission to eat. Does she eat our food right away, or is she a lazy eater?
Right away.
Okay. If she leave any food in her bowl?
Tiny bits.
Always dump it empty and put the empty bowl back down. So the bowl stays empty on the floor the whole time, so she recognizes it's empty. If you leave food in there, then sometimes she'll eat in front of you, and it just takes away the motivation. It's a really important thing for dogs. When you're eating here, she should not be allowed on the carpet here. To disagree with that, you would hiss at her as she's walking towards it, then stand up and turn to face her. To a dog, standing up is your commanding position. Your authority goes whatever direction from your privates to your collarbone is facing. You have a projection of authority that goes there. So turn to face her and then walk towards her if you need to. Once she vacates the area, stop. When she's stationary, take 2 steps backwards, 1 foot, and pause. When dogs communicate with each other through movement, they do it with a pause between each step. So when you step backwards and pause, she's probably gonna come forward. You would rush towards her and stop at the edge again as your way of saying no. And you might have to waltz back and forth 3 or 4 times. What we're saying is when you try to come on the carpet, I disagree with you by marching at you. And after doing that enough times, she's gonna be like, I step back and she doesn't move, then we take another step back. So we're saying by not moving, that's what I wanted. This is a form of operant conditioning, which we did a lot of today. Sit at the door. Go to the door, say sit. If you don't sit within 3 seconds, drop the leash, sit down at your table there, read a little book or a magazine, check some emails, play a game on your phone, wait 1 minute. After 1 minute, go back to the door and command her. Don't say, can you sit, Parsley? No, sit. 1, 2, 3, don't sit. I sit down right now, I'm waiting for 2 minutes. Next time I sit down for 4 minutes, 8 minutes, and so on. So she does it the right way, and the reward is the door opens and we go for a walk. If she doesn't do it, anything else happens, nothing happens. So we're just gonna reward her for the things that we want. Look for others shouldn't be allowed in the kitchen when you cook, but she's not really going in there anyways. If she goes to your parents' house, we would like her not to be on the furniture as well, just to make that a established habit. Just explain to mom that she's insecure, and giving her too much freedom or privileges is overwhelming for her, and it makes her feel insecure and lash out. We need to constrict her and put clear rules and structure. Remember when I was a little girl, you said I had to play in the backyard only, couldn't play in the front yard, because you couldn't trust me in the front yard. It's not that we don't trust her, but we don't trust her confidence. And so we're going to shrink her world until she feels confident in that being a big fish in a small pond. Then we're taking her to a medium-sized pond and so on. Let me see. For the kennel, leave treats in the kennel, cheese or whatever it is. Anytime you give her a new toy, she should find it in the kennel. You should practice having her be in the kennel while you're home. So when you're watching TV, throw a couple treats in the kennel. Give her a bully stick if she likes one, or something she would keep her occupied. Frozen peanut butter works really well too. And then close the door and sit right here. Remember, the kennel often represents you're about to abandon me and I'm restrained. Well, the restraint part will be in place because I didn't get a chance to show you the kennel training I normally would do, but you're right here. You're only a foot away. And what we want her to do is practice being calm inside the kennel for progressively longer periods of time. When she is in the kennel and you come to let her out, actually I just went through with my client that I was telling you about in Malibu, You'll be able to see a video of me. She's got 6 dogs. It'll be the one right 2 below yours. So when you find yours on my website, look at the one 2 rows down. I show how to let the dog out of a kennel in a calm way. And if you can't find it, let me know. I have a ton of videos I can share with you. Moving the dog bed right over there or under the table will be helpful as well, because that's a little bit too far away, I think, for her. Let me see. Yeah, that's kind of it for rules and structure. We also talked about petting with a purpose and past trait. Petting with a purpose, if she tells you what to do, instead of petting her, which tells her she's in charge of you, you give her a counter order of sit or an LAY. She has 3 seconds to do it. If she doesn't do it, I want you to lean back and watch TV, play hard to get. It works great for dating, it works great for dogs. Show her, I got 20 other things to do. I wanted to pet you, but you couldn't be bothered to sit, so now I'm reading, I'm watching TV. You're the one missing out. And if she starts longing for that, she'll start thirsting for it, and then it becomes more valuable. Kind of like if your lovey goes out of town, you miss them because you don't have access to them. I think she's been petted so much, and especially at times when she's fearful, that she's gotten to take it for granted, and so now she's going to start earning it. So if she tells you what to do, or you want to pet her, we're going to tell her to sit. If she sits, we pet her under her chin, flop. She's flopped on her side. And pet her under her chin, so we facilitate a nose up and say just the word sit, and pet her as much or as little as you want. If she doesn't, like I said, we pull back and we wait. If she protests, wait for her to stop protesting and a little bit extra time before you ask her to do it again. If she's already sitting, ask her to sit over here or ask her to lay down. That's petting with a purpose. And remember, use the watchwords for you and anybody else that comes over. If you see me petting the dog, maybe just as soon as people come in the door, if you see me petting the dog without making the dog do something first, say paycheck. And then you stop petting, even if you did it right, tell the dog to sit, pet her under her chin, say sit. And then you tell your lovely sister, I actually did it right, but thank you for reminding me. I appreciate that. If you get in a habit of petting with purpose, every time you pet your dog, it increases the dog's respect for you as an authority figure, it boosts the dog's confidence, and it helps them practice sitting, which is great. It's a desired behavior. Speaking of desired behaviors, make sure we passively train her. Every time she does things that we want, pet her. Every time she comes to you, pet her and say, come. You said recall is poor. Well, most of the time we ask a dog to come, it represents the end of fun. I'm in the yard yelling at a squirrel, having a great time. You ask me to come so the neighbors don't hear it. When I come listen to you, you come and close the door. Now I can't yell at the squirrel. You're a buzzkill. Next time I'm just not going to listen to you. So we take all that baggage out of it. Every time I come to her, she's all over me like water rice and pets me and says the word come. Not good come, just come. And also not come. Dogs hear inflection, so that makes it 2 command words. You can talk to them however you want. If you want a baby talk, that's fine, but everybody needs baby talk. I found it's just best to make it conversational tone. So after a while, I asked you off camera what she could do to make you happy, and we struggled. Well, now she'll know. They like it when I sit, because they pet me when I sit. They like it when I come, because they pet me when I come. When I drink my water, we call it something, some alcoholic beverage probably. We name her food. So every time she takes her first bite of food for 3 or 4 months, you say chimichanga. After I say chimichanga, she runs over and that means I gotta eat. Every time, if she brings toys over, name all your chipmunk, fish, name all the toys that she pulls over. If she goes, jumps up on the couch, and when she gets to that point, you can say couch if you want to. So try to name all the things that she does that you like so that you can actually start asking her to do those things. Now I also went over a focus exercise. The focus exercise, I have a lot of videos on my website. If you want to find these videos, you know where to find them already. Go to doggonproblems.com, click on where it says dog training tips. That's where I have all these videos. There's a search box either on the right side or the bottom, depending on if it's desktop or a laptop or a phone. Just type in focus, and I have hundreds of clients I've shown how to do this. Now, I only showed you the broad strokes, so watch the focus video, because at first it's 1 second, 1 second. Eventually it's 1 second, 15 seconds as you're moving that treat towards the dog's nose. And you'll practice inside the house, then eventually out in the hallway, then eventually on walks. And the videos will explain how to do that. If you have any questions, make sure you let me know. But try to find ways that you can have men come over. I'll wrap this up right now. Try to find ways for men to come over and they can watch those videos. Leave the treats on the ground so that the dog just kind of learns whenever a person comes over, treats just fall from the sky. And they don't ask me to come and get them, and I go get them anyways. Also, if she starts moving really slow, not like that, but that could be an a warning. So if she starts moving slow, she might be saying, hey, I don't like what you're doing. Sit. Sit. See, I moved back and said sit. Sit. If I'm leaning over her, that could be towering. Remember, always pet under the chin, don't pet on top of the head. Remember, when she flips over and gives you her belly, stop petting her. If you're petting her and she's a very gradual lay down and roll over, you can continue for that. That's a massage. But as soon as she flips over, she's saying, I'm not worthy, I'm insecure. Well, as soon as you're insecure, I'm going to stop giving you attention because that's not something I want to promote or reward. All right, Parsley. I'm just kidding. Oh, I was going to say Paisley. Excuse me. It is Parsley. So let's do one more. We'll get her to come over and we'll wrap up this video. Look, we're almost out of your cheese. Your mom's going to have to go to Trader Joe's. Well, this is Parsley, and I am David, and these are some. This is her roadmap to success. Remember, everything you do trains your dog. Only sometimes you mean it.